I'm really glad that you decided to come and join us and be a part of our worship service this morning. One of the things we value at New Life Christian Fellowship is story, and getting the chance to see a snapshot, just a picture of what God is doing in someone's life. And so I get the pleasure to introduce Brendan. So Brendan, if you want to go and come on down. Some of you got introduced to Brendan last week, I believe it was, with the leaders to the God Squad. He is one of the leaders for that. I got the chance to be a roommate with this guy for a couple years. God has been working in some very cool ways in his life, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
Thanks, David. How's it going, everyone? I'm Brendan, like you said. So I just wanted to go and give you guys like a real quick background on me for those who don't know me. So I grew up in a Christian home, went to church, went to Bible school every Sunday, and I just kind of fell away with it when I was about 15. And then just last October is when I decided to follow Jesus again. So, woot. So since that time, it hasn't even been a year for me. And in that period of time, I was baptized again. And during the first half of the last spring semester, I was kind of being guided on how to be a leader. And then during the second half, I started co-leading a group with my boy Cody. And so not only is this whole leading thing like super new to me, but just the idea of sharing the gospel with others, those who don't know it, is just something that, honestly, it terrifies me. It's always terrified me. It's never been something I've been good at. But I want to talk about what God did with me over the summer. So I was blessed to have an internship up in Dulles, Virginia. Yes? And it was with a real small engineering company. And when I say small, I mean like I was 1 out of 30 people in the entire company. So as you can imagine, it was pretty easy to get to know some of the people there. And so I pretty quickly became pretty chummy with these two guys on the production floor. And, we'd have pretty regular conversation, the usual stuff, things that coworkers talk about often. And then one day, out of literally nowhere, one of the guys just looks at me and he says, "Brendan, how would I find a good church to go to?" What? Where did this come from? We had never talked about my faith or anything like that. So I had no idea how to answer this. So he started talking about it, and he said his 4-year-old daughter asked him if they could start going to church. That's an amazing thing in and of itself. Right there. But what this turned into was just a pretty regularly scheduled daily conversation about my faith, churches, God, Christianity in general, and everything that goes with it. And I don't know if anyone has like the Bible app, but it sends you this daily verse, and you can schedule it. So mine comes about 7 a.m. So I would get it in the mornings, and oftentimes I would kind of low-key freak out in the mornings because I knew it was coming. So I had about an hour drive, so I would use that time a lot of the times to pray. Just, Lord, please do not let me mess this up. Just give me the wisdom today to answer any and all questions that these guys have for me. And so I would start sharing that daily verse with them and just see where that went on. It would normally spark some pretty big questions that they had for me. And oftentimes, I had no idea how to answer them right off the bat. I would have to, just let me get back to you on that. I'm going to have to think on that, honestly. But, and I know this is something that it's not only me that struggles with, sharing the gospel. It's something that I know a lot of people are scared of. But what the Lord saw fit to teach me this summer was that he took that and he looked at me and he said, "All right, Brendan, I see you, and I see that this scares you. Now let me show you that through me, you can do this. And I know that if you trust him, that's what he can do for you as well." So that's my snapshot.